this next week here, as IEM has just concluded. I'm actually going to lower my volume here real quick. And we're going to start off with the most obvious thing, of course, which is a new build introduced to us by Maru himself that he used against Reynor in IEM TvZ. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. So it's pretty normal up until you're supposed to build the Reaper. Then that's where it starts to change. So we're going to touch upon that real quick here. I want to put some PSAs out here. The first thing being that this is a bit of a surprise build, and what I mean by that is like it's more so meant to catch someone off guard, and has a bit of a surprise element to it. I think that if you can't catch someone by surprise, it's not bad, but it's not ideal, let's say. So we'll start off. One thing to note here is Reynor actually is looking for proxies first, especially with this Overlord. And this Overlord will go back here. So pretty safe against proxy racks. Here we have Marine first. So this is where it starts to go different. So gas timing is normal, like in a normal opener, right? We got 16 gas, 16 racks. And Maru goes into CC and then Marine first. So with the extra gas and the extra mins, we're going to build a factory, right? But the thing is we're not going to build a second depot yet. We're going to go we're going to go factory first here after the Marine finishes. So it'll be factory. Bam. Then you should see a reactor, and then we're going to see a depot. So we're going to do 20 factory, start another SCV, and then 21 reactor here. And then you rally the 21st SCV to the barracks to have, there you go, your other depot. So I'll include the timings up here if you want to see that. And I'll post the replay in the description box. But at this point here, everything looks, I wouldn't say normal. Oh yeah, otherwise normal. You know, like if the OV comes here, maybe expecting a Reaper. You can see with the circling position here, Reynor, it's also expecting a Reaper. So to be honest, he probably just assumes Maru's just playing a little bit greedy, not SV scouting. You know what? It is what it is. And I feel like this is a little bit as to why this build kind of had a lot of success. Is for that reason, right? You know, if you see it coming, it might be easier to defend. But you know what? I think if you're like Diamond to Masters, I think even if they see it, you have a good chance of pulling it off. But what we're going to do here now is build reactor Marines and single Hellions, okay? And when you build 2 single Hellions, you want to send those 2 out, and it will look pretty normal to a Zerg player if you run by an OV, and they haven't sent their Overlord in your base yet. So we're gonna do 8 Marines. We're gonna build 3 Hellions, right? And we're gonna build a Medivac. Okay, so you want your Medivac to be started around 315. Again, I'll put it up in the edit up over here. But you want to have that Medivac, I would say anywhere between 315 to like 320 in game time. I had that little bit of flexibility because obviously like 315 is like probably the soonest you can get it. And we're going to want to add a depot down here at 40. So you'll see more adds that depot right there. And here you go. Move out with 2 Hellions. We're going to start up a third one here. He should actually, but maybe not yet. And then we're going to do a fusion core. Okay. So fusion core comes out here. Oh, he actually only builds 2. I apologize. He only builds 2. And we walk out with these Marines. So you know what? These Marines, it might look like a 2-1-1. It might to Reynor in this specific scenario. But again, he's actually going OV speed. Overlord flies away. Maru realizes that's what's happening. And this one goes in here and will indeed scout that fusion core, and he'll click on it. So he knows that it's happening, and he's gonna start that bailing this here. Maru's gonna go ahead and fly this. Now, yes, if you feel like you're not able to do damage with this to the queens, obviously that's objective number 1. You can also go looking for overlords. How likely it is that your opponent is going OV speed, obviously that just depends on your game. It might be more common now because of what has happened in the current games that I am. So if you're a Terran player, be on the lookout for that OV speed stuff. There you go. Gonna kill those OVs and fly away. So that one was already pretty dead. So you know what? Even OV speed one has saved it. But Maru, the way to think about this is Maru knows that this fusion core has been scouted, right? He knows the BC follow-up is scouted. Reynor is aware that this is gonna happen. So Maru's not really in a rush to start picking at the queens. He's instead gonna test his luck here, kill a OV that's already dead, and try to see if he can drop the main. And here comes the 2 additional Hellions that were built out of this factory. So you want to go ahead and swap these, and we'll actually rewind here so I can catch that. And I'll make sure again to have that included in the edits. Go ahead and go back here. Okay, so you want to have this swap off when you move out with your Marines. So let's say at about 340, you want to have this swapped out, okay? 340 right there. A little bit of flexibility in the timing, right? Now, I will say, if you can, try to avoid taking damage to your Hellions. You will be using them later to target the queens to use some transfuses. And if you take too much early game damage to your Hellions, it will mean that you either A, have to repair them before you push out, or B, have damaged Hellions stacking queens, which is already not that great, right? Because you want to be able to have enough HP to output as much damage as possible here. So Maru's going to go ahead and send this Medivac in here. So just creep, so very well done by Reynor. And now he's going to go for these, right? So we got 4 Hellions and about, we're going to say, what, 7 Marines here. Because we went Marine first. So he's going to start gnawing at this queen here. He's going to maybe pick it off. And behind this, we have the 3rd command center in the wall, which is about 4 minutes or so that this gets put in there. And what is basically going to happen at this point here is actually Maru's supply block, as you can see. So even Maru gets supply blocked. Please keep in mind BCs are a lot of supply. So when you start this command center in the wall with these 2 depots, go ahead and start a 3rd depot anywhere you can, really. So you can avoid that supply block. That would be my advice here. And try to do some damage, but don't force it. Now, if you are taking a lot of damage from the Medivac, just go ahead and fly away. And if you want to, you can save the Marines here. Now, all micro this as well as you can, and just get as much as you can before that BC comes out. Hello? And there you go. I stop recording videos at night. Alright, so we pick up all the queens here, and Overlord comes back in here, or just stays in there rather. So it's going to know when the BC comes out. But here we've done a ton of damage. Like I said, Reynor probably just didn't think he's going to take that much damage from it. Maybe I didn't spit the next 2 Hellions, but obviously this is great for Maru. And when that BC comes out, even without Yamato, it's going to go free reign. And actually, here you can see we only actually have 1 spore on the way. And if we look at the queen count here, there are 4 queens, but again, spores help tremendously in keeping your overlords alive. And Maru keeping most of the units alive and sending the Hellions. Once you jump that first BC, we're going to go ahead and start 2 factories. I would say between 530 to 540, you want to have 2 additional factories. And with the gases, you can take them together. This build is very APM taxing if you're going to be using the Medivac the way that Maru does. So if you are going to wait on these 2 gases, you definitely can. It's okay to add them when you start these 2 factories. It's okay to add them right before you start the 2 factories. There is that bit of a flexibility there. Ideally, if you start them a little bit earlier, you're going to have more gas flow, which means that you can use the gas for the factory units a bit sooner. And make sure your wall is raised, of course, and that these Hellions don't kind of get out there. And there you go. So this jump right here with the BC is very aggressive, and this is because Maru killed a lot of the queens. If you don't kill any queens at all, I would highly suggest that you jump to BC into this mineral line here, or even here. The only reason, and this is true on any map, when you use a PC build and you're gonna jump to BC, please make sure you only drop if you're gonna jump in rather. Only jump in to this natural location if they take the triangular 3rd, okay? And the reason why I say that is because if Reynor had taken this 3rd base here and you jump your BC here, it makes it very, very, very difficult for you to escape without having to hide here and use another jump, okay? As opposed to jumping here, you kill a few drones, or maybe kill nothing at all, but you can move down to this base here, pick off here, and then escape here and then from here go home, right, and get that repair. Especially because you already used the teleport, and teleport does have a pretty big, significant cooldown there. So, otherwise, if you do take out some queens, do a lot of damage, and it's okay to jump to BC as aggressively as Maru has here, and just be aware of these counterattacks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, sorry I made that video a little bit longer there, despite the replay being pretty short. But like I said, replay will be in the description box, along with the IM replay pack, if you're interested in seeing that. And I will be banging out all the content I can on the IM games. So I'll see you guys in all of this week's videos. Deuce.